Okay, guys, how are we doing today? Last story today of a more grim nature. The rest should be fairly lighthearted. So, according to Ruptly, this one's entitled, "We Had Clinton, We Had Everything. ABC's Epstein cover-up exposed by pissed news anchor in Project Veritas leak." ABC News knew the full extent of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes 3 years ago, but a combination of orders from above and threats from those implicated killed the story before it ever got to air, leaked footage shows. In a video clip released by conservative group Project Veritas on Tuesday, ABC News anchor Amy Robach is caught on a hot mic speaking to colleagues at the news desk. Robach reveals that she had been contacted by Virginia Roberts, who alleges Epstein used her as a sex slave and pimped her out to his powerful friends, including Britain's Prince Andrew. "I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air," Robach says on camera. "First of all, I was told who's Jeffrey Epstein, and the police found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us in many different ways. A million different ways. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. It was unbelievable what we had. We had Clinton. We had everything." If this is true, then our government is complicit in one of the most hideous things that they've ever been implicated with. This is disturbing. This is more disturbing than drag kids, war in the Middle East, although not more disturbing more than what's going on in China. This is literally the United States government, or a portion of it, cooperating in human trafficking and sex slavery. That's the country you're living in. That's the people running the show. Yeah. I don't feel well. Former President Bill Clinton was among those who traveled multiple times on Epstein's private jet, dubbed the Lolita Express. As well as Clinton and Prince Andrew, Robach claims that lawyer Alan Dershowitz was implicated in Roberts' testimony. Robach says that she tried to convince her bosses to air her story for 3 years, but to no avail. And now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. What we had was unreal. Epstein was found dead in his cell in New York's Metropolitan Correctional Center in August, where he was awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. His death was ruled a suicide officially, with the city's chief medical examiner determining the sex offender hung himself from his bunk bed in the cell. Reports that Epstein had been taken off suicide watch 2 days earlier and that the guards on watch left him unsupervised for longer than usual fueled rumors that foul play was afoot. Epstein's connections to high-profile politicians and business figures led many to speculate that the mogul was murdered. When New York's former chief medical examiner Dr. Michael Baden claimed last month that Epstein's wounds were more consistent with homicidal strangulation than suicide, the mystery was revived again, and the internet was flooded with Epstein didn't kill himself memes and comments. The comments were dumb, but the memes were amazing. Oh my god, there's even it's in Christmas stockings. It's not even Christmas yet, but still. Stop trying to make Christmas come early. When Epstein died, the case against him died too. It was the financier was the sole defendant. A group of Epstein's accusers and alleged victims have called on prosecutors to keep the case open, arguing that his association, including girlfriend and alleged trafficking partner Ghislaine Maxwell, could also be culprits. Please finish what you have started. We all know he did not act alone," accuser Sarah Ransom told a court hearing in New York in August. "We are all survivors, and the pursuit of justice should not abate." Several hours after Project Veritas story broke, ABC News defended its decision not to air Robach's interview with Roberts, claiming the story did not meet its standards to air. Robach herself said that the footage captured her in a private moment of frustration, and her story lacked sufficient corroborating evidence, despite saying on camera that she had everything. Though ABC cited journalistic standards as a reason for withholding the story, the network has aired uncorroborated stories before. Last year, ABC parted ways with investigative journalist Brian Ross with a false report. The President Donald Trump ordered former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn to make contact with Russia in the run-up to the 2016 election. Special message to ABC News. ABC News. You've aired uncorroborated stories before. Why stop now? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you folks had something to hide. Maybe, since most major news outlets outside of Fox News are left-leaning, and Clinton is an all-time fave among left-leaners, he was a favorite president, and why not? Old Billy Boy actually managed to balance the nation's budget. Twice! He let the government shut down over it. When it came to economics, he was the dude. But even he couldn't fix our national debt. He was a good president. But a shit of a human being. An absolute shit. But with your obvious left-leaning bias and Clinton being popular, I think it's pretty damn obvious what's going on here. You were covering for your boy. You were covering for Clinton. You knew her story was going to implicate him. And it would have meant possible imprisonment. Some kind of suffering was coming his way, and you knew it. And you're covering his ass. Sincerely, ABC News, fuck you. You piece of shit news outlet. Screw the mainstream media. Let it die. It's worthless. Just get your news on the internet. Read news articles. Go to Reuters. Go to Reply. Go to any of the sources I use. Hell, expand your sources. Go even further than I do. But for the sake of honesty, for the sake of your life, don't watch the mainstream media. It is not worth it. It is just not worth it. Anyway, peace.